Hello students, welcome back to learning AutoCAD software. So let's start with a quick revision, that is I'll show you how to draw your assignment. Okay, and I hope you have practiced your rectangles. So let's go to AutoCAD. Now this is the assignment which I had given you. You have three different rectangles to draw here. So with a very simple method, I'll show you how to draw this. Now, remember one thing, I told you you can draw this assignment through any of the coordinate systems. So I'll be showing you through relative coordinate system, okay? And you can practice with the other coordinates as well. So I'll start with my REC, that is rectangle command. Press enter. Now the parameters are on. So first of all, I need a chamfer rectangle because this is a chamfer. Okay. So I click on chamfer, or I can type C, enter. Now my first chamfer distance which is specified here is 0.5. So 0.5, enter. Next, again second distance is also 0.5, so enter. Now I have to specify the first point, which I will say as 1, 1. Okay, so my rectangle has started. I am just dragging it. I am not clicking on my corner point. Okay. Now the next one, I will specify is through relative coordinate system. I'll say from this point at the rate I want to draw a rectangle of 10, 6. X should be 10 and Y should be 6. So this is my 10 by 6 rectangle, the outer one. 10 is the length and 6 is the width. Okay. Now next one is, I'll again go into rectangle command. Again I'll click on chamfer, or I'll type C, enter. Now the AutoCAD is asking for chamfer distance. First chamfer distance, again this 0.5, 0.5, enter, 0.5, enter. Or I need not type, I can just enter it because the second distance automatically is taken from the first one. Okay. Now I have to see which point I have to take on my CAD. See, this is 1, 1, and after 2 units, this is starting. Okay, so this would be my start point would be 3, 3. 3, 3, because here also it's 3. It's 2. So 1, 2, 3. So 3, 3, and the ending would be at the rate 2, 2, because length and width both are 2, 2, 2. So my first rectangle is positioned. Now next one would be 2 plus 2 plus 2, 6. Alright. Then first one was 7. So 7, after 7 points, my second rectangle is going to be placed. So REC, enter, C, enter. 0.5 would be my distance, and first corner point will be 7, 3. Okay, the level, the y-axis would be same, and I need it at same 2 by 2. So at the rate 2 by 2, that is 2, 2. That's all. Easy. Do practice again if you have done any mistake. I'll select all and delete. So let's move on to our new topic, that is ellipses. I hope you all know what are ellipses. In AutoCAD, ellipses are nerve curves, basically non-uniform curves. Okay. Now, you can invoke ellipsis command through ribbon. Go to Home tab. In the Draw panel, you will find the ellipse with the drop-down menu. Okay. In Toolbar, Draw tab, then Ellipse. In Tool Palette, Draw tab, Ellipse. Or either you can type the command ellipse completely, or EL is the short key, and press enter. Okay. Now we can, when you click on the drop down menu of ellipse, you can see here there are few points, few options which appear in front of you: center, axis, and an elliptical arc. All these three will be studying today. I'll start with the very basic one. Whenever you start EL, enter, the first thing which actually through which you can draw an ellipse is axis and end. Basically, in axis, you have 2 points. Those 2 points determine the location and length of the first axis. The third point, which is the end point, I would say, The third point determines the distance between the center of the ellipse and the endpoint of the second axis. Here, what I'm talking about is when you start your ellipse command, this would be your first point, this would be your second point. So means you can create a reference line, or if you know the length of your axis, so you need to give the first point and the second point, and the third point would be the distance between the center point and the quadrant of your ellipse. Okay. Basically, this will decide the distance, overall curve of your ellipse. Okay. So this is, and I hope you all remember mathematically, ellipse has two axes, major axis and minor axis. Okay. And this is the midpoint. Now, the second option is center. Means here I can use my center point of the ellipse and the end point of the ellipse, and then I have to give the third point, which will determine my distance. Okay, this one. Basically, from the center point, I have to give the first point and then the second point. I have to move towards left or right and then towards up or down, basically giving the distance. Like here in this picture, this is the axis, this is the center point, and this is 1. So I have to give 3 points. Like center point is 4, 4, end point is 6, 4, and towards up, I'll go and provide 1 as a unit. So let's move on to CAD. I'll show you how to draw ellipse. EL, enter, or you can go to your ribbon and click on ellipse. Any of the two, axis or end or center. I'll first select axis and end. That is by default. It always comes when you type EL in your command line. Okay, specify axis endpoint of ellipse. So I'll specify 1 point. You can use Control plus L, that is your ortho mode, to go straight. Okay, I'll specify the second point. See, now it's creating a circle. Now, when I reduce my distance, it's creating an ellipse. Same as a saucer plate. Okay, when you see from the top, it is a circle. As and when you rotate it, an ellipse creates. Okay, you can see elliptical saucer. Okay, I can click anywhere on the screen, or I can type like 2. So this is my ellipse. So simple, with 3 points. First point, second point, and third point. You can also draw this with the reference of lines. Like you have a line here with a particular measurement, and you can draw another line from the midpoint towards up, and just you have to capture these 3 points basically. First, EL enter, after EL enter, first, second, and third. Your ellipse is ready. Okay. Now, the second option is center. Okay. Even you can operate this center by EL enter. See, this is the center. When you click on center, now you have to specify a center point, and then the end point of an axis, and then the second, that is the distance. Okay, an ellipse is ready. Okay, one more thing. When I type EL enter and I specify a first point, and then I specify my second point. Now, when I have to specify this distance, see, there is one more parameter which is operating here on my command line, rotation. It defines the major to minor axis ratio basically. As you all have studied in math, ellipse is basically about major and minor axis. So the rotation parameter defines the major to minor axis ratio of the ellipse. It rotates a circle about the first axis. Okay. Now remember one thing, the higher the value from 0 through 89.4 degree, 89.4 degree, I repeat, the greater the ratio of minor to major. Like I said, the saucer plate. As and when you rotate, it becomes an ellipse. But when you see it in the 0 degree, in front of your eyes, you will see a thin line. Okay. So 89.4, why? Because from 89.4 to 90.6 degree, the values are invalid. because the ellipse would always appear as a straight line. And whenever you create multiples, like angles, degrees more than 90, it will result in a mirror effect in every 90 degree. Okay, so I'll show you what I'm talking about. EL, enter. I have this axis first point and second point, and now I click on rotation or type R, enter. Rotation around major axis. Okay, so I'll say 0. So now it's a complete circle on 0. Okay, I'll show you one more. EL, first point, second point, R, enters, rotation at 45. So this is 45 degree rotation. EL, enter, and first point, end point, R, rotation 70 degree. See? Now, slowly it's becoming thinner, and gradually when it reaches to 89.4, it will be a straight line. EL, enter, R, 89.4. See, it's a thin line now. And EL, enter, first point, second point, rotation 90 degree. It's invalid. See, your AutoCAD is also saying invalid. So the last point is 89.4. You can try 89.56 as well if you want to check. Okay. So these are the two ways in which you can draw an ellipse. Okay. Now coming to the third part, which is elliptical arcs. If you see, the third is elliptical arc in your drop-down menu. Okay. Now, again, the same command would be there to invoke ellipse drop-down, and you can go to elliptical arc, or in toolbar, it is separately ellipse arc, tool palette also, and in command line same ellipse, and then you have to select arc. See, when I type EL, there is one more option parameter here, arc. When I click on arc, now my elliptical arc option is invoked. Okay. Now in this, the first two or 3 points, your first 3 steps are same. Okay. The first point, the second point, and the third distance. Still, I have to specify also the third distance. But after that, my ellipse would not complete the command. It will ask me 2 more questions. So I have to give 2 more points. First is the start angle, and the second is the end angle. See, there are 3 methods here. First, start angle and end angle. Start angle means if I say minus 45 and I say end angle 135. So it will end at the 135 angle. If you remember, I had shown you the polar angles. So 135 is this angle. So it will stop on 135. Okay. See. Here I'll specify my angle as minus 45. Okay. And my end angle would be 135. See, this is my arc. Okay. Now, in this, don't get confused. This is where the first, it is going towards left. If I draw the other way, I click on arc and I take from right to left and then distance, and then I specify my angle minus 45 and 135 the end. It will draw this side. I had drawn my line from left to right. That's why the angle is this. But if you have drawn your first 2 points, first point is right side and second point is left side, then the angle would be this. Okay, which is there in this pic. Yeah, there is a difference. Okay. Now the second one is start angle and included angle. See, I'll show you. When I start my EL, enter, I'll press on arc, or I can directly go to ellipse and click on elliptical arc. Okay. Now, it is asking me to specify axis endpoint. So I'll show you according to the picture there. My right side, the first point, and my left side, the second point. Okay. Now I'll give the distance. I'll give the distance on my screen. You can type also. and now it is specifying the start angle. I'll give my start angle same, this like this, minus 45. Now there are two parameters. So here the other parameter is included angle. So I click on included angle. I'll say included angle should be 225. Okay. Now the difference is 2 to 5 included angle means the 2 to 5 angle, because if you see 2 to 5 comes in around third quadrant, but here it is ending in the second quadrant. Actually, now 2 to 5, if I say included angle, it means the 45 angle is also included in this. Here the end angle was 135. So it has started on 45 minus 45 and ended at 135. But here, if I said included angle, so it has included the 45 within 135. So means it's 45 plus 180 degree. Okay. Now the third is through parameters. The same thing, EL enter, go into the arc and create an ellipse first, and then click on parameters. Rather than specifying your angle, click on parameter. Parameter is nothing but the parametric vector equation, the calculation of ellipse by the software in vector equation. Okay. Now here I have to specify two parameters. When I click on parameter, I can type P, enter, basically specify the start parameters. I can specify a point on my screen as well, or I can type specify the start parameter and see in 4 quadrants is working, and specify the end parameter. And you can type also. Okay, you can type the coordinates as well. Like here, they have given @ 1, 0, and then go on up to angle 225. Okay, so these are different ways you can draw ellipses in your AutoCAD. In the next class, we will do a quick revision. I have not given you any assignment in this session, so please practice drawing all these ellipses. We will also cover how to draw regular polygons and donuts in the next class. Okay. Thank you, students, and keep practicing.